Welcome, beautiful souls, to the Matchmaker with Letitia Underwood. I'm so thrilled to have each and every one of you joining us today for this special live stream. Today's topic is a truly fascinating one as we dive into the world of relationships and love. We'll be exploring the insights and wisdom from the incredible book Getting to I Do, written by the renowned Dr. Patricia Allen. Dr. Patricia Allen's book is a treasure trove of knowledge, guiding us through the journey of finding and nurturing fulfilling relationships. Her profound insights have touched the lives of countless individuals, helping them navigate the complexities of dating, love, and commitment. So, whether you're single, in a relationship, or simply seeking to deepen your understanding of love, you're in for a treat today. Together, we'll explore the key principles shared by Dr. Patricia Allen and discuss how they can shape our paths to finding true connections and lasting love. Feel free to engage with us in the chat, ask questions, share your thoughts, and let us know where you're tuning in from. This is a safe space to discuss matters of the heart openly and respectfully. So grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and let's embark on this beautiful journey together. Together, we'll discover how we all can get closer to I do and create loving relationships that stand the test of time. Thank you for being here with us, dear viewers and subscribers. Let's make this live stream an unforgettable experience. Now, let's dive into the pages of Getting to I Do and explore the transformative power of love. All right, today we are reading chapter 3, Choosing to be Respected or Cherished. So if you have the book, feel free to read along. If you do not, but you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment section. Okay. Alrighty. Relationships often falter from the start because we enter them with confused needs and expectations. I have found that the best way for you to clarify these issues for yourself is to ask yourself the following questions. Which is my greatest need? To be cherished for my feelings or respected for my thoughts? If you want your thinking respected first, if you want your thinking respected first, you will choose to be the male energy. And if you want your feelings cherished first, you will choose to be the female energy. Successful relationships are an exchange of opposite energies. So the goal is to be able to make a clear decision about your energy system before you begin a relationship. You cannot chaotically or spontaneously jump back and forth between the two, being both actively masculine and passively feminine. That destroys relationships and wears down one or both people. You can see how destructive it was for Leslie and Mark's relationship when she gave off confused signals by first appearing to be masculine when she approached him and had sex with him, and then switching to feminine when she wanted her feelings to be cherished. Mark, who was not about to turn his freebies down, was quickly spoiled by Leslie, then confused by her quick change. He couldn't really get a footing on their relationship, and he left. He certainly didn't feel inclined to give her a commitment. With Andrea as well, each relationship she entered was fated to end badly because the feminine energy she presented to each man initially was quickly eroded by her real masculine energy. Neither woman, though educated, smart, and attractive, was able to walk into a relationship and have it blossom into happiness forever. So I wish to stress again that the key is to know yourself, know which energy you are comfortable with, and ground yourself in that choice before you enter a relationship. Consider an aggressive, gregarious woman who knows what she likes in a man immediately and enjoys approaching him to start a relationship. If the man she approaches is predominantly female energy based or passive, things could work out. But if this man also enjoys the conquest of going after a woman and catching her, a relationship between these two people is ill fated. Neither will feel the satisfaction of his or her basic drive to assert and initiate. Oh, so sorry, I don't know why I keep yawning. On the other hand, what about a woman who spots a man she is drawn to, but who every time he looks her way, looks down for fear of seeming too forward? If this man is drawn to her but is too fearful of being rejected to approach her, how can they get together? Both the man and woman are passive receivers and not aggressive initiators. Although I believe that there are only two basic games in town involving money, male, and sex, female, it is obvious that in this day and age, simultaneous careers of equal financial reward are common. How to make the relationship work? By making sure that the two people flow with the energy exchange and don't trample on one another. Marcy and Bert, both programmers earning roughly the same salaries, met on a blind date and liked one another. The next day, each was in the other's thoughts and both wanted to have the relationship develop. However, Marcy, who wanted to be the feminine energy, did not call Bert. She waited for him to call her. 2 days later, he called to invite her out, and she said yes. This set the pattern for Bert to be the masculine and Marcy to be the feminine, even though they were basically equal in earning power. Being equal in career and brains does not mean being equal in energy preference. Everyone has innate talents and preferences. One person likes to make reservations or pay bills, while the other likes to cook or prefers initiating sex. When a man and woman are equal in career and brains, they can talk about likes and preferences and personal talents that make one of them better suited for some of the various mental and physical requirements of being a couple. When two people have parallel incomes, the delineating line is still who is the active given masculine energy and who is the passive receptive feminine energy. In other words, who is respected and who is cherished. If you choose to be the female energy, respecting your man's thinking ahead of your own means that whether the ideas, desires, or opinions that he is sharing agree or disagree with yours, you must listen, revere, honor, esteem, and accept them, or negotiate a change in such a way, which I will teach you, so that he feels respected. I'm going to read that one again. If you choose to be the female energy, respecting your man's thinking ahead of your own means that whether the ideas, desires, or opinions that you share, the ideas, desires, or opinions that he is sharing agree or disagree with yours, you must listen, revere, honor, esteem, and accept them or negotiate a change in such a way, which I will teach you so that he feels respected. If you choose to be the male energy, cherishing your man's feelings ahead of your own means that whether his feelings are positive or negative, you listen, accept, honor, and revere them, and then negotiate some form of joint behavioral change, which I will teach you. That will make him feel better. Can you be the female energy, make more money than your man, and still respect him? Of course. Jerome, an associate professor of literature, made about half as much money as his girlfriend Suzette, a caterer. However, Jerome was clearly the male in the relationship, and Suzette admired and respected his position and intellect. Suzette, the cherished one, brought sensuality into the life of the couple. When Jerome went to Suzette's apartment after work, he could relax there with her. She provided a comfortable and loving environment. After 9 months of being in a mutually exclusive long-term sexual relationship, Suzette knew she wanted to marry Jerome. She still felt that tingling feeling when he walked. She still felt that tingling feeling when he talked to her decisively and told her what he wanted, whether it was a date or making love. She needed her man to be the leader in the relationship, and when Jerome led her to where she wanted her to go, she responded sensuously and sexually out of a feeling of security and safety, two necessary issues for her to be sexually vulnerable. And Jerome loved her vulnerability. It was a sexual turn on for him to feel the pleasure control in his hands. He knew she trusted him, and because she did, she could be more risk taking and creatively confident about leading and pleasing her sexuality. She brought out his masculinity sexually, and he brought out her femininity sexually. This sealed their intimacy. For Suzette and Jerome, the relationship was balanced. He wanted to be respected as his first priority, and she wanted to be cherished. When both people in a relationship expect their feelings to be cherished or their ideas and logic to be respected simultaneously, a conflict in the form of a push pull power play occurs. To give an example, going to a movie is a simple thing to do, but when you both have different movies in mind, it could become a problem. That's what happened to Lori, a manicurist. Whenever she wanted to see a romance movie, boyfriend, Al, a used car salesman, wanted to see a Western. In the past, Lori had wanted to be with Al so much and was so afraid of losing him that she allowed him to intimidate her into seeing any movie he wanted, no matter what she really felt. But she realized she was becoming angry over the way she was handling the situation. I taught her how to talk to Al so that he could cherish her feelings and not try to intimidate her into his choice, while she respected his choice and didn't try to seduce him with her feelings. The next time Al began to intimidate her into going with him to a Western she didn't want to see, she told him that she was willing to see it because she wanted to be with him, respecting him. But she also told him her feelings, which were that she really didn't like the shoot 'em ups. The result was that Al heard what she said and cherished her feelings. They compromised on a third movie, one that he liked and about which she felt good. Beware of men who will neither respect you nor cherish you as a way to keep painful distance between you. They are afraid of intimacy. Superficiality is the goal of non intimate people. Getting money and having sex are the goals of superficial couples. Sharing feelings and thoughts are the goals of truly loving, vulnerable men and women. Let me say that again. Getting money and having sex are the goals of superficial couples. Sharing the feelings and thoughts are the goals of truly loving, vulnerable men and women. What about anatomy? Quote unquote hormones. Although the social sexual revolution freed us to be either the male or female energy in a relationship, we will examine how anatomy plays a major role in shaping our choices. We will discuss how gender contributes powerfully to our energy preferences, with most women still wanting to be the feminine energy and most men the masculine energy. Freud said, anatomy is destiny, and this is true because of the hormonal balance of our bodies. Most women I encounter under the age of 50 fall naturally into being the feminine energy. Their primary interest, even though most of them have to earn a living, is in relationships because that is where the female hormone estrogen leads them. Estrogen is in effect feeling hormone. It keeps women caring more about feelings and emotions than cars and jobs. The female principles are I feel and I don't want pain. The ultimate feminine issue is making love because it is the closest, most intimate thing that two people can do. Because of his male hormone, testosterone, the man under 50 will be driven to action, doing, and will prefer to be the male energy. According to their nature, what most men want most in life is power, money, and sex, because this is where testosterone leads them. In the real world, this translates into most men being interested in buying, selling, and building. Their world is concrete and performance oriented. The male principles are I think and I want. A young man who is influenced by his testosterone will want to produce and perform. His masculine energy, which is selfless, likes to perform a task so that he can feel good about the product. Often, he will perform for the intellectual pleasure of achieving his goal of money, power, and prestige. Of course, each of us have a time of performance, but men's bodies are built more for performance than process. A woman who is influenced by her estrogen processes her feelings and thoughts, which keeps her in constant touch with them so that she can make a decision to move toward pleasure if she feels good or stop actions if she feels bad. Processing allows a woman to continually track her feelings and to act on them, especially avoiding painful experiences by saying no. I often say that women need to feel good to do good, but men need to do good to feel good. For example, because of the way testosterone affects a man, he will be less likely than a woman to experience discomfort working in an unesthetic environment. This is because he can focus on the task at hand with less sensitivity to people and things around him. What is seen as insensitivity by his woman is seen by the man as an efficient, effective, and economic system at work. However, as time goes by, we see a reversal when nature naturally pushes us towards our opposite role. In the second half of life, men become more passively feminine. Their testosterone lowers, making them less aggressive and more receptive. The estrogen in their system promotes sensitivity and feeling. Women, however, become more actively masculine. Ooh, I'm sorry. Women, however, become more actively masculine after menopause when their estrogen level drops and the progesterone impacts them more. Often, women then go out into the money world to make their mark while men are ready to retire to their homes and pleasures such as cooking, gardening, doing some kind of artwork, listening to music. In her book, Second Honeymoon, Dr. Sonia Rose talks of the midlife role swapping, in which men who manage midlife well, well become in which men who manage midlife well become more receptive to the affiliative, the nurturing and sensual aspects of themselves, while women who thrive in midlife become more assertive and autonomous to negotiate equitably and voluntarily, with pride and ego set aside. By the way, since postmenopausal women are often more logical and stable than younger women, they often communicate with masculine men better than younger women. For this reason, older women and younger men often do well together. A younger man's testosterone and an older woman's progesterone allow them to be a good team and to perform well, especially in money making endeavors. Older women in the workforce are often easier for men to get along with. The brain differences. Another anatomical indicator that modifies and shapes our choices is the lobes of the brain. The left lobe is the thinking, verbal, and actively masculine lobe, and the right one is the feeling, nonverbal, receptively feminine lobe. Between these is a fibrous mass called the corpus callosum that processes information from both lobes. Because this transmitting tissue is smaller in right-handed men than it is in left-handed men or in women, generally right-handed men act from either their left lobe, teaching, verbalizing, problem solving, solution giving, or their right lobe, sensuous, nonverbal, sexual, but rarely from both right and left lobes at the same time. However, a woman, because her corpus callosum is larger, is capable of processing data both from her right and left lobes at the same time, in effect melding her thoughts and feelings. This can cause problems in a relationship between a woman and a right handed man when she expects him to be able to speak freely about his feelings and he expects her to be logical. Often, a right handed man is confused about his bright, sensitive woman and says, how can someone be so smart and so dumb at the same time? When Terry, a policeman, surprised his wife Lily, a bookkeeper, by taking her to a small airfield for a jaunt in a twin-engine plane, he was irritated and amazed by her terrified reaction. How could Lily be so illogical, he wondered. A twin engine was a lot safer than a jumbo jet. At least if anything went wrong, there was a chance of gliding the plane to the ground. How could Lily handle her job if she was so illogical and emotional about this issue of flying? He couldn't help putting her down. But Lily wanted Terry's empathy and understanding that this was a problem for her. Logical or not, she did not want his ridicule. Collisions between Terry's logical and Lily's illogical reactions had been a chronic problem between them until they heard me speak on neurological differences between women and right-handed men. By realizing that there was actually a biological difference in their brains, Terry was able to empathize with Lily's feelings and give her cherishing comfort, which eventually helped her desensitize her fears. It is important to understand that empathy in itself can have a healing effect on the other person. Expressing empathy towards support while your partner works out her or his inner conflicts. By the way, left-handed men are different from right-handed men because, like all women, both left and right-handed, they can think and feel at the same time. This means that they are able to speak logically and with feelings. This can be this can be terrific for a woman because talking to one of these men can be like talking to your best friend. However, sometimes all hell can break loose because you both have a lot of emotion behind your thoughts and don't want to compromise. If you and your left-handed man both have had a difficult day at work and both feel distraught and maybe a little depressed when you get together at night, you could find that because your needs for comfort are so acute, neither of you will be able to console the other. This could easily result in resentment, anger, verbal attacks, or a withdrawal of affection. Therefore, if you are with a left-handed man, it is important that you and he make a decisive commitment early in the relationship to choose which one of you will be respected for logic and which will be cherished for his or her feelings. At the same time, I want to make a distinction between actions that are influenced by a physical reality, as with hormones and anatomy, and actions that are a result of a psychological dysfunction, as with Leslie and Mark, when a stalemate occurred because both wanted their feelings cherished at the same time. A constant collision, male versus male and female versus female, would undermine the natural flow of intimacy. A death grip can ensue, which can end in violence or the end of the relationship. Language. Your energy preference will most likely manifest itself through your language choices. If you find yourself starting sentences with I want and I think, you probably want to be the male in the relationship. Let me say that one more time. If you find yourself starting sentences with I want and I think, you probably want to be the male in the relationship. If you begin your sentences with I don't want and I feel, you'll probably opt for female. When you choose to be the masculine energy, you do so because you want to give, protect, and cherish your intimate partner. After you say I think and I want, you must ask, how do you feel about what I have just said? Listening to and cherishing the feelings of your feminine energy partner, especially her negative feelings, is a sign of a balanced masculine energy. Practically speaking, what this means is that people who are primarily masculine energy will say things like, I think we should do this. I want you to love me. I want to be with you. I want to have sex with you. How do you feel about that? And the female energy will say, I feel good about that, or I don't want to do that, or this would make me happy, sad, glad, excited, angry. A masculine energy person will say, I want to go to Alaska for our vacation. I think that will be a great place. How do you feel about that? The feminine energy person will respond, that would make me very happy. What a great idea. Or, that doesn't make me very happy. I don't want to go so far away. I'd really feel better about someplace closer. What do you think about that? If you choose to be the feminine energy, do not ask your masculine man for better or more love, time, affection, or sex. You may ask for all the things you want, like diamonds, houses, and cars, because masculine men like giving things. But in the area of love, time, affection, and sex, you must wait patiently for the best offer to say yes or no to. If you become impatient and go into the masculine principle, you're asking your man to be your female or your little boy, and undoubtedly he will resent it because he won't want to fight with you. He will go passive aggressive instead. He will say yes to your request and then give you less than you would have gotten had you said nothing. I suggest that if a man does not meet your requirements in the area of love, affection, time, and sex, reject him and find another man. Barney and Priscilla had been in a relationship for 8 months. Barney loved her, and until recently, he felt respected and she felt cherished. But lately, Barney had been working more than usual, and sometimes he wanted to cut their dates short so he could go home alone and sleep. Priscilla felt deprived of love, affection, time, and sex and decided to ask for those things. She complained, "Why can't you come over here and sleep so we can have sex? If you wanted to be with me, you would, even if you're a little tired." Barney didn't want to argue, so he said yes, sleeping at her apartment. But instead of having sex when he got there, he promptly fell asleep on the sofa. He was being passive aggressive, and she was angrier than before she asked. As time passed and Priscilla continued to nag, Barney became more distant. Priscilla got frightened. Why was he distant? Didn't he love and want her anymore? Was there someone else? Priscilla talked with a girlfriend who knew my principles and decided to come to my seminars, where she came on stage to ask for my advice. I told her that she must either accept the situation or reject it temporarily or permanently. Women do not have nagging rights, only leaving rights. She learned to ground herself in her feminine energy and approach Barney with validation. "Barney," she said, "I sense, believe, feel that something is wrong. You seem angry, tired, bored, distant. You haven't touched me the way you used to, and you don't make love to me very often now. Am I right?" Barney appreciated that she said and told her there was no one else he wanted. He reiterated that he just needed his sleep. Priscilla stopped nagging, and when Barney's overtime work schedule ended, he treated her with more love and affection. They had more sex and time together than ever. He appreciated her accepting as he was and trusting him. It's your choice. In these days of sensitive men and powerful women, not all men want to be the male and carry the responsibility of caring for others, nor do all women want to give up their independent rights and be the female. That is fine. We are all born with our physical capabilities, our mental intelligence, and temperament. We have the freedom and ability to choose whether we want to be the masculine or feminine energy. And while hormones, brain differences, language patterns, and styles may direct us towards certain choices, we must finally be guided by what feels most natural to us. The women's movement has begun to free women's masculine energy at work and in relationships. Now, the men's movement, personified by Robert Bly in his book Iron John, asks women to allow men to experience and express their masculine red knight, wild man, shark energy before being pressured to prematurely suppress it and become white knights. If men are allowed to integrate their feminine anima in their own time and frame, not in a woman's, it will be more an authentic, loving, and sensitive experience, and less a good boy passive aggressive one. Women who try to control men out of fear of their own vulnerability and masculine potency attempt to castrate the red knight but end up paying for it as men learn to hate women's castrating power. However, the men's movement has also begun to free men's feminine energy without their feeling guilty. Many of these men feel more authentic in roles formerly allocated to women: homemaker, primary caremaker of children, monitor of the family social calendar. Feminine energy men do not like to fight, but they do appreciate masculine women who like to compete, lead, and often be the major provider of status and money, and generally take charge outside the relationship. Within the relationship, feminine men feel respected when their feelings are cherished, and masculine women feel cherished when their ideas are respected. They complement each other's needs. Feminine men are not repressed homosexuals or pathological, weird, wimpy, or weak. Often, a dynamic masculine energy woman will see a gentle and sensitive man as weak until he leaves her because she did not respect him. Usually, it is the masculine energy partner who brings status and security to the relationship. But often, feminine energy men use their sensitivity, creativity, and intuition to make a lot of money. They often own the best art galleries, hotels, and restaurants. As individual career professionals, they make the best doctors, writers, actors, artists, and teachers. Their feminine energy, along with their material physical maleness, lends itself to good human loving interaction, and thus good business follows. Whatever his profession, the feminine energy man will basically be a sensitive man who can offer sensuality and sexuality to a strong woman who will back up his career with her brains. In a world where men should be men and women should be women, these alternative lifestyle couples need to read and hear what they are normal and health that they are normal and healthy. Henry, a brilliant, sensitive, somewhat shy internist who was uncomfortable pursuing women, met Cynthia, an intelligent, strong, and attractive nurse in the hospital he was affiliated with. Cynthia easily initiated their dating relationship. They made a commitment to one another, and a year later, they married. During the first few years of their marriage, Cynthia ran Henry's office. The combination of Cynthia's organizational skills and Henry's great bedside manner proved powerful, and Henry became very successful. When the children began arriving, she quit working at the office, but never abandoned him for the kids or his practice, which she controlled from home. When they were at home together, she backed off driving him as a doctor and cherished his need to relax and play dad with their three kids. She saw to it that he did not have to worry about bills being paid or their house being remodeled. She handled it all quietly and efficiently. Some feminine energy men will not have a career. They function best in areas where relationships are important, such as home, children, and romance. Some women don't enjoy these areas but do want a home and family and are willing to become career women to bring home the money and status to provide a nice life for their family. Each of us must look inside ourselves, examine our real desires, and then act on them. Many wonderful men who choose to be the feminine energy in a relationship are out there, and they are the complementary romantic choice to seek if you happen to be the type of woman who wants to be respected in her relationship. If you are this kind of woman, you like being in control and having a loving man share your life. It's part of your nature. You like giving, you like protecting, you like cherishing. Respecting and accepting men's choices of using their creativity aesthetically in the home and sensitivity in relationships is the only logical balance to the masculine energy woman. The main question you must ask yourself is: am I a woman with a career or a career woman? If you see yourself as a woman with a career, you probably have to make some professional sacrifices in that career to enhance your man's career prospects, such as giving up a great job position and moving to another city because his promotion includes a relocation or even giving up your career while you are raising the children and then perhaps resuming the career later. If you are a career woman and refuse to compromise on building your empire, you should be looking for a feminine energy male who will help run the home as well as support your career needs without resentments. Glenn, a successful owner of a small franchise printing shop, liked the goals of his girlfriend, Antoinette. She had begun a small children's clothing boutique in her home and was now a manufacturer with her own label. As she became more successful, Antoinette was less available to Glenn and often broke dates with him because of her many meetings, traveling, and hours on the phone. But Glenn didn't mind. He quietly went about his own life, entertaining himself. When Antoinette was happy with her career, she was fun to play with, and that's what Glenn wanted. He was willing to receive what time and energy she had to give him. He loved her for herself, not what she could do or would do for him. Glenn never doubted himself when friends would tease him about being a wimp. He and Antoinette fit together in their own way, and it didn't matter to him what others thought. There is a time to put career ahead of womanhood, and there is a time for womanhood ahead of a career. The biggest mistake is trying to do both at the same time. I usually recommend that young women get ready for a big career at the age of 45, but prepare for womanhood early. Ask yourself, what is my priority today, career or family? Once you have decided, act accordingly and find the man who supports either priority. I am often asked whether a masculine woman can choose to become feminine and whether a career woman can change and become a woman with a career. The answer is yes, but if she does decide to change, she has to be able to receive a man's masculine leadership without rebelling against him, which isn't easy for a woman who has been living in the masculine energy. If this is you, please evaluate your real desires about being the strong leader or the feminine follower before you begin a relationship, not afterward. Otherwise, you will find yourself fighting your man for the throne. Performance and productivity are masculine, whether at work or at home. If you choose to be a woman with a career on the side, you must follow your leader, husband in all areas of marriage, including child raising, home decorating, finance, and so on. Although you have the feeling veto, you are not the boss. If you pretend that you like being the little woman when you really want to run the show, you will confuse both of you, become resentful, and spend your productive energy trying to control him and undermine his self-esteem. So make an authentic choice of career woman or woman with a career. It is better to have a powerful woman in a relationship with a sensitive, loving man than to have a woman acting helpless with a sensitive man trying to build up his image when he's not going to change. This is because when she finally reveals herself fully, and she will cut him down instead of cherishing him, and she will rob him of his male potency. She will resent him for not being the masculine feminine energy pretense, at which time the relationship will come to an end. Remember, pretense has no place in relationships. Be grounded in self awareness, confidence, and integrity. So, to sum up chapter 3, women have to decide, do you want to be respected for your thoughts? Do you want to be respected for what you do? Or do you want to be cherished for how you feel? Do you want your feelings and your emotions to be considered? You cannot have it all, and you cannot have it all at the same time. Are you a career woman or a woman with a career? A career woman is a woman who is choosing to operate in the masculine energy role. She is more suitable for a feminine energy male. Someone who is going to support her, someone who's not going to try to compete with her, someone who's not going to hold her back. The feminine energy female is more aligned with a male energy man. The male energy man will lead. He will make her feel safe. He will provide for her, and he will be considerate of her feelings. Meaning, when he makes a decision or he's going to do something and she expresses how she feels, he will take that into consideration. Now, that does not mean that he will make decisions based on your feelings. He just will take that into consideration. I think that a lot of the problems that I'm seeing in the mating and dating market is that people are trying to be both. I mostly see it with women, but I do see it with men. Women are trying to be both. Women think because they're a woman that automatically makes them the female energy. And that puts them in the female role. But that is not the case. It is something you now have to choose based on how we are actually socialized. Again, like I said previously, women are socialized and conditioned out of their femininity. So now you have to actively make a choice and learn how to function in that choice. So if you're going to be the feminine energy, that means you're going to be the creative, nurturing, sexual, sensual partner. You're going to be the one to bring the fun, the excitement, the creativity. Um, you're going to be the one who is more and yes, ladies, feminine energy is very passive. You are waiting on the man. You are waiting on the male, the masculine energy. You are following the male energy. And you are not trying to lead from the bottom. Women who try to lead from the bottom are women who are pretending to be the feminine female energy because they need to be in control of things. They need to be in control of the situation. If you cannot sit back and passively let the man lead and let things play out based on what he desires, you either can wait on him or you walk away. If you can't do that and you start to control and you start to try to manipulate, then you are a woman who is falsely operating in her feminine energy. You are trying to come across as more feminine because you want a masculine man who is going to be a provider, a leader, who's going to offer you security and protection. Because that's what you're told that you should want. That's what you think you should want. But what you really want to do is be in control. You want to be able to say, "Hey, I want you to take me here. I want to go there. I want to do that." A woman who is truly in her feminine is looking at things on how she feels about them. Hmm. I don't like that. That doesn't make me feel good. Or that feels great. Sure. Let's do that. If he wants to take you to a restaurant, you either tell are you making decision, are you accepting or declining his invitation based on how you feel or based on what you want. Me personally, when it comes to a date, I want to feel comfortable. I want to be able to feel like myself. And so I will deal with the man based on that. If I can't feel like myself, if I can't feel comfortable, then I will have to reject it. You don't have to hide who you are or make yourself less of who you are because you want to be with a man. The feminine doesn't do that. You either accept how things are passively or you reject it. Because you do have a choice to reject. No one is saying you have to be a doormat. Men do not like doormats, especially successful men. But you do have to know what you want and you have to know who you are. And self-awareness is key. So I would ask that you all take a moment of self-reflection and ask yourself, which role do you want to play? Do you want to be cherished, which is the feminine, the female energy, or do you want to be respected, which is the male, masculine energy? And once you can figure that out, then you can move forward with dating. Then you can understand your role, and you can engage with the man based on that. Okay? So, with that being said, thank you all for joining me on today's live stream. Make sure to go ahead and like and share this stream and leave a comment. I enjoy reading the comments, and I promise you, I do comment back. Make sure to join me tomorrow for getting to I Do Chapter 4 is giving masculine feminine is giving masculine or feminine. This is a really huge chapter because I hear a lot of how people on social media are talking about when it comes to giving, and I'm very, very shocked to hear that a lot of women who consider themselves to be female to operate differently than what feminine does. And also men who say that they're masculine operating or desiring such in a way that feminine does. So make sure to tune in at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow for that. And until next time.